Hello and welcome back. I'm out here in the workshop and today I have something special. We're going to take an insane trip down nostalgia lane, as this is my first ever computer. And I still have it, mostly. The case is not the same. The original case is in a bit of a shape of, disrepair, and it also requires a different style power supply, which is unique to the case, and I could not fit a modern power supply in there. So I decided to, a couple of years ago, move over the motherboard, and I still had a couple of the original parts over to this case. The PC is pretty much in spirit the same as I had it back in the late 90s. And I would have used this PC up until the early 2000s, until around 2003, when I got my personal faster computer, which was a 1.7 Willamette Celeron machine. So let's take a closer look at what is inside of this machine. Now this is a very cool design. I wish you could still get cases like this. It's not in a perfect shape, but I love how you can just lift it up kind of like a, like a car hood or bonnet. So the parts in this machine are circa 1996. This is a 1996 PC, give or take. I don't know if this is our first ever computer and then I inherited it. I'm not sure. But anyways, it was, as it stands, it's mostly the same configuration and it's roughly 1996. So immediately you might notice the cooler. It's just the Pentium 3 tower cooler I put on top of this because I don't have any good Socket 7 coolers. So the motherboard and CPU are exactly the same as what I had back in the day. So it's a Acorp ATC-1000 with an AMD K5 100MHz CPU, Socket 7. The sound card is the same. It's a Sound Blaster Vibra 16. And the video card is almost the same. In a way, I've kind of upgraded it a little bit. Originally, it had a S3 Trio V64 video card in it. This is sort of a natural progression upgrade to it, an S3 Virge. Now, the S3 Trio didn't have any 3D acceleration, but the 2D performance of this card is about the same as the Trio V64. So whenever we're doing just software acceleration, no hardware software rendering, then it's going to be fine, and it's going to basically perform the same as the other video card did. Now I still have the Trio V64, but I kind of wanted to see what the machine would have been like if I had an S3 Virge. Call it modified nostalgia in a way, an alternate dimension. Now this is something I wouldn't have had. It's a USB 2.0 card. It's very handy for copying stuff over. We have 32 megabytes of RAM, and a power supply that's a much more modern 450 watt power supply, but like I said, that's why the case is different, is because I could actually mount a modern power supply in here, as opposed to in the other machine I couldn't do that. Now originally I had an insane setup with 3 different hard drives. I had overall about a gigabyte of space, and I thought that was so cool. But it was achieved through 3 different hard drives. So I had I believe a 324 megabyte Western Digital Caviar, a 202-ish megabyte Western Digital Caviar, and then I had a 504 or something megabyte Quantum hard drive, I believe. You could imagine 3 hard drives together, intense noise output. But this time I've opted for a hard drive. I think I pulled this from an Xbox. So I think this is just like an 8 or 10 gigabyte Xbox hard drive. So, it's way more storage than I had back in the day. So that's actually kind of nice. I don't want to have to deal with, the torture of trying to navigate 1 gigabyte of storage. So there's the Sound Blaster Vibra sound card, model CT4170. And here's a closer look at the S3 Virge card in there. Big old fan on the power supply. And I'm using one of these ATX to AT adapters to hook up to the motherboard. There's a 32 megabytes of RAM right there. And then we have a LG 48X CD drive. I can't exactly remember what kind of CD drive my machine had back in the day. Honestly, absolutely no clue. That's not something I really paid attention to, I feel like, but I remember all of the other parts are definitely original. Anyways, I am actually going to also play on a ball mouse, and it's an A4 Tech ball mouse. And I don't really have any working CRT monitors, so we'll just be using an LCD, and it's going to be a lot easier to film as well, so that's nice. And I've also got a pair of old PC speakers here, which is kind of a rarity because most of the times my father would just insist on putting together a crazy audio setup, like an amplifier and old speakers and stuff for everything we had, but yeah, we're going to be using this because it's convenient. And here we go. Ready to turn on the machine. It is actually quite quiet. However, the hard drive does make a bit of a sound. There's a 32 megabytes of RAM. I do also have a compact flash card installed. I believe that's what Windows resides on. I forgot to mention that because I actually forgot that was in there, but yeah. So we got Windows 98 because that's sort of what I had, even though I suppose this machine would be more suitable for 95, but 98 works just fine. There's the 128 megabyte compact flash card. I believe that's what I have Windows on. Let's see. Oh man, it's been a long time since I've used a mouse without a spinny thing. Actually, no, I believe I have Windows on the C drive. What is the other one then? Yeah, I do have it. It's a FreeDOS. Oh, okay. I believe the other drive was just used to like move a couple files over because it's, compact flash. I can just copy some stuff onto it with my modern computer, and then I can install drivers from it. So if we look at multimedia, we get a SB16, that's a Vibra. We're using the Creative Music synth. And, yep. I should probably turn this up. Yeah, we have a bit of an issue here with the something not being up to standard. But everything is installed properly. We got everything going. Got the Vibra 16. I mean, I don't know why it says Creative Soundless 16 instead of... I guess it just doesn't differentiate between 16 and Vibra 16. There's definitely a Vibra 16 in there. That's the card I had back in the day. And we have the S3 Virge card, which honestly is probably fairly adequate for this machine. Let's be honest, we don't have a lot of horsepower under the hood. So let's take a look at some games, I guess. Some I would have played back in the day, and some others that could, maybe we could check out how this machine handles the S3 Virge upgrade. Also, the reason I have a black background is because that's sort of what I had back in the day, I believe. Alright, so let's take a look at a couple games here. One I know for sure I could not run properly is Star Wars Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2. Absolutely love that game. But I believe it would have ran absolutely like crap on my machine. If I remember right, I just had to play in the smallest window size available, so the game would be sort of playable. It wasn't a good experience. So I'm going to try that. It's probably going to run like crap. And then maybe later we can try the 3D accelerated mode with the S3. I'm not sure if it's going to make it any faster, but that's why we're here, to figure it out. Alright. And we have plenty of space to do a full install, so that's awesome, because, you know, back in the day I would have probably had to do limited installs. Alright. Can we look at the, analyze the computer? Oh, oh. Ooh, that doesn't sound right. Something's not quite right with that, but we'll see. Okay, so we have double the RAM required. Awesome. You got good enough Windows. CPU, it says 139 megahertz, but this is a K5 100 megahertz, and I believe it's also PR 100, so not supposed to be faster than the Pentium, but I mean, I don't know. It thinks it is, so okay, we're gonna go ahead and install. Ugh, what's going on with the audio? I don't know. That's a bit freaky. I might have to do something with that, but I mean, I believe when I last tried this machine, it was working fine. Yeah, no, I think we're going to stay in 320 by 200 probably for now. I mean, does it really matter? Like, I mean, I could just change the resolution on the fly, right? Like, I think it's just the default setting. Yeah, whatever, we'll just change it later. I don't think we're going to be playing in 640 by 480 anyways, but maybe like 512 by 384 perhaps, which would be actually pretty cool on this monitor because it's a 1024 by 768 LCD. Hello, complete installation. Back in the day, I would have had a 640 by 480 analog CRT monitor. Wouldn't be able to do higher than that. I mean, it could do 800 by 600, but not safely. It's not really designed for that. It's just one of those monitors that would basically do any resolution you throw at it happily at its own demise. Installation is going actually fairly fast. I mean, it's a pretty fast CD drive, but it's not running at full speed. I can hear that. I don't know if I have DMA enabled. Maybe I should enable it. I need to check. I do not have DMA enabled. Should I? I guess I will. I mean, why not? Hold on. This is kind of freaky. I might have to do something with that. Unsupported hardware alert. Oh, okay, hold on. Maybe we won't do that. I'm not sure. I don't know if this old machine will support DMA or not. I guess I'll leave it off. That didn't sound good. But that's the game. I don't know why it's doing that. Stop shouting at me. Maybe I should not have changed the setting for the sound card. So I did change it to highest, although I didn't restart it afterwards. Maybe I was supposed to. We'll do a quick restart. See if it's any better. Sure, let's read it. What is the system requirements of this? I don't think we exactly meet it. I mean, the case has a system requirement, so I guess whatever. That was pretty useless. Okay. Should we install it? I don't know what we have. Like I said, this is my slowest machine. I don't have anything slower than this functional, so I may not be up to date on everything. Okay, DirectX 7, we're fine. Do we have like sound working right now? I need to like double check if the sound is actually working, or I may have to restart the computer with the changes I made to the settings. Oh, it's kind of smooth when you're scrolling like that. It's surprising. Start. Huh? Yeah, something's not right. Okay, I'm gonna restart the machine. Maybe I just have to do that to fix that setting. Looks like after restarting we got the sound card back, and I didn't even have to change the setting. So I believe it should still be on the good quality setting, right? Let me double check that. The best quality, I mean. When it comes to sampling rate. Multimedia. Yeah, okay, cool. Alright, so that wasn't the setting, it was just some weird issue. Anyways, this is an old machine, it's not gonna work perfectly. Let's try out Jedi. There we go. We should just be able to start the game now. I don't know what settings it's gonna be using. I think it's probably just gonna be software renderer. Now I don't think it's a wise thing to install fraps on this machine so I could showcase the frame rate. I mean, that does take some performance away from us when we're playing games, and I mean, especially with such a slow CPU, it might be a terrible idea. I've read a funny comment on one of my older videos where it was just like a gameplay video on my Pentium 3 machine playing, I think, GTA or something, and some people to this day are still assuming that I use fraps to record the gameplay footage for videos. Like, are you serious? I mean, obviously I'm not using a camera right now because I can't use a capture setup. I just thought it would be kind of cool to do this on camera. But like every single time I do a video on an older machine, I'm using an external capture setup. I mean, I've even made a video on how that works. I mean, why would you use fraps to record on an old machine? That was just gonna like bog down the performance so much. Like, I don't know where these people are getting these ideas from. Anyways, so yeah, there's a button to enable 3D acceleration. What I'm gonna do now though, I'm just gonna leave it on software renderer, and we'll just use the lowest settings, 320 by 200. Gonna enlarge the view size to like just before max. I think max gets rid of the heads-up display, like in Doom. And I know I need to change the controls a little bit because it's kind of backwards in this game. I'll at least change the mouse settings because I believe, yeah, it has like reverse up and down, I believe. Whatever, we should be able to roughly play the game now. I don't need like the perfect control setup just to, you know, showcase this game a little bit. This game was so amazing to me. I mean, I loved Star Wars, so getting this game was awesome. Videos played really well, but I mean, this is some super old CD video format. You know, probably not even compressed. I mean, maybe it is, I don't know. It's just super low resolution, very basic compression perhaps, to be able to be run on almost any system. By the way, system requirements for this game are 100% Windows 95 DirectX compatible computer required, graphics card, PCI graphics card required, also supports most major 3D accelerator cards. Please check the LucasArts website for a complete support of 3D cards. They did not even show that in the README. That's kind of lame.
What a fine young lady.
CPU, Pentium 90 or faster required. 32 megabyte RAM recommended. Or 16 megabyte required. Okay. Yeah, our machine is good enough. Alright. But then again, if you're trying to run software render, it's not going to run too well. So this is pretty much the same performance I would have gotten back in the day, I would say. And its lowest resolution, 320 by 200. Let's see. Oh, it's taking a while to load. Oh, I'm not used to that. I mean, this game on like any other computer I usually play it on is like, you know, just like that. It's done loading immediately, but yeah. Not even the fact that the... Oh boy. Oh, it's completely reversed. Oh, this is terrible. Wait, so How does this work again? I thought okay. Oh my god, I hate this menu so much. So it shouldn't do that, but then how do you... I forget. Okay, oh yeah, I think you need to click that and then that. Okay, there we go. Oh my god, this menu is terrible. Alright. So yeah, frame rate, pretty abysmal. It's just about playable. Barely. Hello? Look how enormous the heads of display as well is. I mean, I feel like this game is better played in lower resolutions because if you play in higher resolutions, the heads of display just tends to become super tiny. I mean, this is actually a lot more playable than I would have thought. Maybe I tried playing in a higher resolution than this? I'm not sure. But this is actually quite playable at 320 by 200. Not optimal, but it's quite alright actually. I definitely would have been able to play like this, but I don't think the game ran like this for me. Maybe I was using different settings. Or I'm just more accepting now? Nah, that's highly unlikely. Yeah, I mean, it's super choppy still. Like, let's try a different resolution. If I were to, say, play in, maybe 320 by 240. That's not going too crazy, but it's already a bit slower. You need a lot of horsepower for CPU, graphics, software renderer. It's choppy, but it's not as choppy as I remembered. It's odd. Like, I mean, I feel like it was super slow. Maybe, I honestly, I probably played this in 640 by 480 now that I think about it. It must have been 640 by 480 or something like that. Ooh, yeah. I feel like this is probably how I would have played it for some reason. I don't know why I played it in such high resolution. But this is terrible. Okay, that's probably what it was. Because this is about how well it ran, I feel like. Okay, that's interesting. I'm learning stuff that I thought was completely different than I remembered. Okay, I'm gonna try enabling 3D. I don't know what mode X is. I'm gonna try 512 by 384 because that would be sort of like it would be, you know, a 2x upscale for the monitor. So every pixel would be displayed by 4 pixels. Let's go with that. So this is, I believe, with S3D, right? No, not S3D. Sorry, this is still Direct 3D. It is definitely running better than before. This is actually super playable. Although, yeah, I mean, you can tell that this is 3D rendered. We have texture filtering and all that. But it's still kind of choppy here. So let's try 320 by 240 maybe. 400 by 300. No, I'm gonna go for 320 by 240. Actually, wait, what's the mode X? Let's try that. Oh my god. Mode X. So now we're in mode X, 320 by 240, and honestly it's running really well. It looks way better than in software rendering, so I would have really liked it. You know, if I had this video card back in the day, I would have been super appreciative of it. It's awesome. Definitely looks better. I mean, even though it's like sort of the resolution you would use for software rendering, and this video card gets a lot of hate for being kind of slow. Honestly, every bit of performance is super appreciated when we're kind of low on power, like 100 megahertz CPU in this case. It's honestly helping a lot, and it still makes the game look better than it does in software rendering. It kind of looks like an N64 game now, and I think that's pretty awesome. I mean, I would have been, yeah, super happy with this if I had this like this. And it runs way better than I remember because I believe my settings may have been skewed back in the day. But yeah, that's awesome. This is running great. So here's a game I would have definitely played back in the day. Need for Speed 3. And I feel like I would have not been super happy with it. I believe this game doesn't run super well on this machine. I mean, it's from 98, and then most of the parts are from 96. So first I'm obviously going to try it in software renderer mode, and then we'll see what kind of difference the S3 card makes. So let's go ahead and play this. I think the CD drive is kind of struggling with this CD a little bit, but it's okay. It's playing fine. It's kind of cool to see, you know, full motion video on this machine because, I mean, this is a very slow PC. Whenever I tried playing any kind of video CD or anything like that, it would just struggle, obviously, because there's not enough power and there's no decoder card either. I believe I do have like MPEG 2 decoder cards. Kind of weird. They're like this voodoo style, patch cable style setup. So I don't really use them at all. Maybe one day I'll try it out. So yeah, let's see. Need for Speed 3 first in software renderer mode, and then we'll try the 3D acceleration. Oh wow, okay. Mouse is a bit slow. Oh my god. Even the menu is like completely unusable. Wow. That is what I call choppy. Not sure why it's like this. I don't know if we have 3D. Oh yeah, right. I think you have to actually wait a sec. I don't know how this works. Like I don't know if you have to select 3D acceleration from outside of the game. I think you might. Hold on, let me close this real quick. I have a feeling this is not gonna run well on this machine, but okay, let's try. Let's try and look at the game here. Okay, wait, so it is using software in there. Okay, that's good. Right, so I'll have to come back there and change that later. Okay, so this is with software rendered, which is probably also why the menu is so laggy. Because all of that has to be rendered in software by the CPU. What is this? 320 by 240, I believe. Okay. Let's see how it does. I feel like back in the day I would have maybe selected higher resolutions for some reason. I don't know why. Like, I feel like I may have played a lot of games in 640 by 480 and then my PC wouldn't be able to handle it. Look at that Corvette. That's what we're gonna use. To me, the C5 Corvette and then the C6 Corvette look so similar. I cannot even tell them apart.
3, 2, 1, go!
Yeah, that's exactly how I remember it. Absolute poop. Performance next to unplayable. I think even, honestly, I mean, maybe I haven't even played this game on this machine very much because, I mean, it's basically unplayable. How would I have played it like this, right? I almost feel like I've only played this on the other machine, the Pentium 3 1 GHz that I showcased earlier on this channel. But I would have also played it in software renderer mode because maybe I didn't know that you need to go into the 3D setup to change the settings to the 3D device. I'm not sure. But this is, I mean, this is a slideshow. 100 MHz CPU trying to do the game and the graphics at the same time. That's just not gonna cut it. In the README here it says that Direct3D is supported, but only officially a couple cards like the Reba 128, the Intel i740, and the ATI Rage Pro, which we've actually used in the 1997 PC, and it did pretty well. I don't see any system requirements in here, so I guess not all READMEs have it. Alright, well anyways, let's check out the 3D accelerated mode with the S3D. Well, it's not going to be using S3D, it's going to be using Direct3D, but let's check it out. Let's check out the S3 Virge. See how it does. I mean, also the card is not overclocked. I don't have any utilities installed on this machine that could do it. I'm not going to change the settings. We'll just leave it as it is. Oh boy. Okay, so there's already some graphical issues here. I think that's pretty normal. You know, par for the course for a S3 machine. Alright, just same car and everything, yeah. Menu is pretty unusable like this. It's also pretty laggy still, so I guess this machine isn't really cut out for this game. But it almost looks like the resolution is actually higher. Hold on a second. Okay, I think it chose a different resolution this time. That's not good. I think we're gonna have to lower it back down to a more acceptable level. I'm thinking 320 by 200 or 320 by 240 should do. After all, this card is from 1996, and even when it came out, it wasn't very fast, so I don't expect it to do good in a 1998 game. Ooh. Yeah, no. Let's not do that. And the problem is, I don't even think you can... Oh my god, I can't even pause the game.
3.
I don't even think you can change the resolution while you're in the game, right? So I have to go back out. Oh my god, it put it on high settings. Jesus Christ. You're crazy. I'm gonna do low on everything. Close. Z buffer. Whatever. I guess we'll leave it on. Not even sure if the Virge supports it, but I think it probably does. Okay, we want Chrome because that looks kind of cool. But the main thing is I'm gonna have to go back and yeah, change that resolution because it's way too high. We want maybe 320 by 240. I'm thinking that's gonna be good enough. Like, here's the thing. I get that this is, you know, it's supposed to be a 3D accelerator. It's supposed to improve the graphics. Honestly, I don't think the S3 Virge is really even going for that. It's more of just, you know, you should still probably stick to 320 by 200 or 240. It's just, it's going to be able to... Because in that resolution, this card actually works pretty well. And it can offload some of the work from the CPU. So it's still, like, honestly not as bad as some people make it out to be. I think it's still kind of a cool card. Yeah, definitely not 640 by 480. But then again, I like to appreciate the unappreciated often. But like I said, if I had this card back in the day, I would have been perfectly happy with this. I mean, this is fine. It's certainly better than running software renderer. You could see how poorly it ran with software renderer. Now let's check it out with the S3 card in 320 by 240. The monitor really doesn't like that, but it at least displays it just fine, so that's good. This is a cool little monitor. I've had it for, I don't even know, like 10 years now or something. It's a tiny little 15-inch, I think. But it's got good fast resolution switches and stuff, and it's got a tiny little blemish on the screen, but not too bad. Alright, let's see what we get. Oh, look at that. Now that's way better than software renderer.
3, 2, 1, go!
Okay, maybe not way better, but I mean, the first flyby seemed way faster. It definitely looks better than it did before. Are the settings all like... Yep, I think the settings are about as low as they'll get. I could turn off car chrome. I'm not sure how much that helps. Yeah, it doesn't seem like that's a lot, so I'm going to turn it on. So yeah, I mean, you know, it's not perfect, but it is not exactly playable either. But yeah, this game is 2 years... You know, the card is 2 years out of date when this game came out, so... Yeah, kind of expected. I mean, this runs way better on the Voodoo 1, obviously. And that might actually be an update, an upgrade I make to this machine. I would kind of have to restore this PC at some point, but it's going to take a lot of effort and cash, so for now I'm just going to leave it as it is. But yeah, maybe down the line at some point I'm going to fully restore this PC. But it was always a little bit jank, though, to be honest, like back in the day, and it was never really, you know, like in perfect condition and everything, so if anything, this is pretty accurate to the experience. Yeah, Voodoo 1 would definitely speed this up quite a bit. So maybe we'll throw that in there at some point. That's sort of the magic of the Voodoo 1, I suppose, is why people call it the Voodoo Magic, is that it can make hopeless computers sort of do okay in some games. But yeah, I mean, a faster CPU would probably also help a lot, but yeah. I believe this board supports up to maybe 166 Pentiums or something, and 166 Pentium MMX should work in it. Not sure about 200. Also, you could, I suppose technically you could put in one of those K62 CPUs that, I think the 400 megahertz one, right? That's the one that has like a 66 megahertz front side bus, and it's supported by Socket 7 motherboard. You don't need a Super Socket 7. I think I have that CPU. But again, this machine is sort of more like a, you know, nostalgia trip, and, you know, see how well this machine does in games. And, well, Need for Speed 3? Not exactly too well, I must say. I wouldn't really want to play the game like this, I'm going to be honest. And I suppose it never really ran well on this machine to begin with. One thing that's sort of a surprise to me as to how well it does, I'm going to put it in the disk drive and you'll see. So the cool thing about the original Tomb Raider is that while it doesn't have Direct 3D, you can get all sorts of patches for it and then play the game like that, which is pretty awesome. So not only, well, originally it had, you know, software renderer, but then several patches came out, such as the patches for the Voodoo card, and I suppose that's the most popular way to play the game. But something a lot of people won't realize is that you can actually get way more than that, not just the Voodoo patch, but there's also S3 and ATI-CIF. I tried the ATI-CIF version in my 1997 PC build, and honestly I kind of like the ATI-CIF version better than the Voodoo patch. I think it just kind of looks better. But let's check out, I think this is going to be the original file, probably. Right? So this should just be software renderer. So yeah, let's check out how well this is doing in software renderer mode, and then I'll check out the S3D version. I hope this is not the... Hold on. This looks really smooth. This looks like it would be... Hold on, this might be the... Ah, that could be the 3D rendered version. Is it? I'm not sure.
Welcome to my home. I'll take you on a guided
No. Okay, no, I think... No, this is... Okay, so this is... Okay, I think... Okay, so I think this is the software renderer version. You have to launch the other file. You just kind of have to download the patch for this game, and then it replaces the exe file with one that will use the S3D
Sorry about the crate. I'm having some things
API.
and the delivery people haven't been yet.
So yeah, this is running super choppy. You can't actually enable the frame rate. Oops. What did I do? You can't enable the frame rate limiter. Frame rate counter. What am I doing? Why is this doing something here? Hold on. Oh my god, I'm changing the resolution. I don't want to change the resolution.
Run up to a crate, and while still pressing forward, press action.
Hold on, is this...
Now
Okay,
hold
I've
down.
accidentally changed it to 640 by 480 or something. Okay, I think this is low resolution. Right. So this is what it... Okay, what is this resolution? Can I... Oh my god. This game is terrible. Let's go back to the main menu here. I think the reason it looked kind of smooth was because we were running in a... No, it still runs in a higher resolution. What is this resolution? Oh my god, old games. Wow, that's great. High, medium, low. Awesome. So I think I might have pressed a key that changed the resolution, and I don't know what resolution that was. So that's pretty awkward, but anyways, I believe... Okay, let's take a look at this. So this is going to be software renderer, and I would say this is definitely 320 by 200 by the looks of it. Can I... No? There we go. Yeah, so this is 320 by 200. So the lowest resolution it will go. And honestly, it's super playable at this resolution on 100 megahertz K5. I mean, that's sort of why they've, recommended you get a Pentium to play this game. But let's try pressing F1 again. So that looks like 640 by 480. So maybe it only got those two resolutions, right? Yeah, that's 640 by 480 at 60 hertz. Okay, that is way more choppy. For sure. Okay, it's pretty bad. So you wouldn't want to play in this resolution. If I press it again, it goes back to 320 by 200. Okay, awesome. So yeah, 320 by 200 is actually super playable on this machine. I'm surprised. Although it doesn't look as good if we had 3D acceleration on. So let's try that. But before we do that, actually I'm going to go over to the bridge area, because I believe that's where the game sort of, I forgot how to control this game. That's where the game tends to drop the frame rate a little bit. Here we go. Here's the bridge area. Yeah, we can definitely see it's kind of more choppy here. Still relatively playable, but not optimal. Now let's check out the S3D mode and see if it becomes more playable. So yeah, like I said, all you do is just download the S3D patch, and then you just basically replace couple files, maybe just an exe, I'm not sure anymore. And that should be this one, the tomb.exe file. So let's go. So yeah, this should be the S3D version, I hope. It's been a while since I played around with this. We can already tell probably just by the settings, because it's going to look a bit different. I don't think there's a detail setting. You can only really choose a couple options here. Yeah, okay, there we go. So we can choose now the resolution, and I've chosen 512 by 384, as that would be sort of a 2x upscale for this monitor. Integer scale, and bilinear texture filtering and perspective correct textures. So let's go. I'm gonna just try Laura's home first.
Welcome to my home. I'll take you on a guided. Use the direction key to go into the music.
I'm not quite sure why the audio was like that. That seems a bit weird, but as you can see, the frame rate
Let's do some tumbling.
is a lot better than before.
The main hall. Sorry about
Because
the
when we tried 640 by 480, it was basically like a slideshow, and now at 512 by 384, which wasn't available in software under it runs way better. Still not perfect. If you want an even smoother frame rate, you can just switch back to 320 by 200 and get a better looking screen. I think maybe it's the frame rate is why it's kind of a bit slow. Hold on. I believe if you press one of the F keys, then you get a frame rate counter. Okay, F3. Okay, F3 is the frame rate counter. Okay, cool. So we're getting 10 FPS here. I'm looking at all the boxes. 10. Yeah. I don't know why, but there's no frame rate counter if you're just playing the vanilla software renderer edition. This is a pretty solid frame rate, honestly. This game doesn't really require super high frame rate. I mean, this is kind of similar to how it would have run on the PS1, but let's check out the game now. Start a new game. I might try the game also in 320 by 200 and see if it runs any better. Could be that we're CPU limited, but I'm not sure, so we'll take a look at it. But yeah, this is technically maxed out. Look at that. Honestly, this is looking and running way better than software renderer. So people saying that this card being a decelerator and it runs and looks worse in software renderer, that's not true. Depending on the machine, it can definitely look better, but mainly run better than when you're trying software renderer. So this is definitely a bit smoother. I'm gonna also try 320 by 200. Let's try out 320 by 200. Looks like we have 320 by 200, 512 by 384, and 640 by 480. I wouldn't bother with 640 by 480. Let's just try 320 by 200. We have bilinear off. Why did we have that off? I'm not sure. Whatever. So now this is going to be the same resolution as software renderer. So it's also going to look a lot like the PlayStation version now, because PS1 version runs at 320 by 240, so slightly higher resolution, but not by a lot. But yeah, it looks a lot like the PS1 game, and it still looks better than software renderer, and it honestly plays really well. We're not really getting over 20 FPS by the looks of it, but still pretty good. I'm gonna go over to the bridge area and then see if we're getting slightly better frame rates, or that might be down to the CPU being too slow for this. Yep, we're still getting down below 10 FPS at this area. So I'm thinking that's definitely a CPU limitation thing. There's not much we can do about it. Even if I were to make a save here and then, say, change the resolution back to 512 by 384, I think it's still going to struggle here a little bit, but let's try that. I'm going to go back, change the resolution back, and then see what happens. So yeah, 3 FPS, we have 1 less than before. So I guess it's not clear if it's CPU or GPU, but it could be a combination of both. Honestly though, if I had this game back in '96, and I would have wanted to play this on my PC, I could have perfectly played it, no issues. I mean, it's a bit slow, but I was already used to playing games at lower frame rates, plus this game doesn't really need to be played at super high frame rates. So I think, honestly, like I said, back in the day, I would have been happy with this. Would have been perfectly fine. And I think I would have maybe played in 512 by 384. Now let's take a look at something really interesting here. And that's none other than Screamer Rally. I believe I already have it installed, and so the interesting thing about this is that it actually comes with... It only comes with software renderer mode. However, someone has actually made a mod, or sort of a wrapper, so you could play it on an S3D capable card like the S3 Virge. So first I'm just going to start up the game normally, I think. I think that would be it. I'm not sure actually how this works. Let's just try screamer.bat. I believe here you'll have to choose the right video mode you want to use, maybe? I don't know. I have no idea how this game works. It's kind of a weird one. Okay, looks like it's running in low resolution, 320 by 200. By the way, this is a weird game. I've actually played through this before in high resolution on a fast CPU, so that we could get like a smooth frame rate even in high resolution. And it doesn't work in high resolution. It always crashes on a certain level, unless you switch into first person mode. I didn't know about that trick. I saw it in a video. So yeah, this game kind of runs out of memory, I think, in high resolution mode. So I would always switch back to low resolution for that one level, but yeah, it's kind of a weird one. Or you can just choose to use a different camera mode. So I believe this is, yeah, just going to be normal 320 by 200. It's a DOS game, you know, it's an old DOS game. Software renderer only. And actually, it doesn't look great, but I would say it runs okay. This is perfectly playable. I would be happy to play the game like this. I don't think I had this game. I think I only had Screamer 2 and Screamer Rally. This is very old. I believe this is from 95. For 95, these graphics are absolutely mind-blowing on PC. I mean, holy shit. I know the original Need for Speed would have been out, I believe, at that point, but still, this game looks amazing.
Watch out for the next bend! Great work, pal. Indestructible.
Okay, so it looks like it was already running in S3 mode, and I cannot showcase the software renderer mode. According to this README file, you just run S3 setup and then run screamer.bat, and that's sort of what I did. So I suppose, yeah, that was already in S3 mode, wasn't it? It's hard to tell. This is a bit of a jank setup, and like I said, this is not actually an officially supported thing. It's a modification someone made to the game. So yeah, and then you should run screamer.bat to start up the game. Oh, wait a sec. Now this does look like S3D mode. I could see some slight imperfections on the road, and I think that's a sign of the S3D renderer. So let's take a look at it real quick. So this is running in 320 by 200, so same resolution. I don't think it's worth it to put it any higher than that. So this is the S3D mode. For sure, because I could tell it from the artifacts on the road. Honestly, not bad. I wonder if this fixes the issue on that one specific level where the game always crashes. However, that only happens in high color mode, high resolution mode. So I wouldn't know.
Next corner's tricky.
Yeah, honestly, this is fairly playable. Not perfect, a bit choppy, but you know.
Whoa! Right to the snake.
This is how it was back in the days.
Oh! Wow! That hurt big time.
So you might have already been eyeing with that. Let's try out Croc. So this one does support a lot of different 3D accelerators. However, you need to use the 1.0 version, as the later release doesn't actually have support for all of these. They've removed a lot of them, so you only get like Voodoo and Direct 3D, I think. Whereas here, well, I suppose like Direct 3D is probably better for the newer video cards and stuff, because that one isn't actually here. Instead, we get all kinds of different video card support, like Voodoo Rush, Voodoo compatible, ATI Rage, so that's the CIF mode. We did try that in the 1997 build. Matrox Mystique, S3 Virge, and no acceleration. So let's try that first. Let's try Software Renderer to get a baseline to see how the game runs. Whereas with later releases, I guess it makes sense that they would apply Direct 3D, so you can play on much more modern video cards. So for some reason, my audio keeps going out whenever I get into this game, and I'm not entirely sure why. Whatever. Let's just take a look at it, see how it does. So yeah, Software Renderer 320 by 240, I believe. Not something I would call brilliant. It is very choppy. I think there might be an issue with the power supply. I might try to switch over to a different power supply, because this is kind of a crappy one. But I thought it would be just enough to run this machine, but maybe not. Anyways, that's Software Renderer. Now let's check out the S3D mode. No, not the, oh my god, not the intro. Quit the game. Alt F4, please. Nope. Oh my god, what is it doing right now? I pressed enough times. I've pressed enough times to quit the stupid game. Come on now. Okay. Croc. And then now we're going to select S3D mode. Right there, 320 by 240. I wouldn't recommend playing at a higher resolution than that with a system like this. And we could turn on filter textures, why not? Let's see how it does. We're still getting audio here. I'm not entirely sure why there's no audio in the game. I wouldn't think this game uses like DOS sound setup, so I don't know. I have no idea. There's something wrong with this game. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. So I guess maybe it's not the power supply, maybe it's just this game being weird. Okay. Whatever, it's fine. This is not a game I've played back in the day. I'm not too familiar with it. It's kind of a weird one. It's like a 3D tank-controlled platformer. Yeah, it's already running a little bit better. This is definitely more playable than it was before, and it looks nicer with the filtered textures, so honestly, this is a solid way of playing the game. I would have been perfectly fine with this, but yeah, like I said, I didn't have this game, so yeah, it's kind of weird. It's like a Tomb Raider platformer thing with a mascot, which I believe they recently made a remaster of. Another game I wasn't aware that it has a S3D mode, and I did not actually play it back in the day, is TOCA Race Driver. I'm not sure if it's installed. I believe it might be. I think I have installed that one. Yeah, okay, it looks like I have. And here we can choose 3D acceleration, S3 chipset. I think I actually did try this game on another machine. Oh yeah, it even has CIF, so I might have tried the CIF mode on the Rage card. Let's check out software rendering. That's kind of what I've been doing here, just checking out software rendering, and then possible graphic problems or sound problems with fast machines may arise when using an S3 card. Okay. That's just par for the course. But yeah, I didn't know for the longest time that this game has S3 support. That's pretty cool. And, you know, so far I've done the same thing where I check out the game with software rendering, and then we'll check out the S3D mode afterwards and see how it does. Okay, that video is not playing. Or is it? It's trying. Yeah, this is a touring car game. I don't know if this one came out in America. Maybe it had a different title in America, I think. Yeah, kind of struggling with that CD. The CD drive is probably not the best, but it could also be a bandwidth thing. Now let's skip this. $1997, okay. What's happening? Okay. So I think my enter just got stuck on. That's interesting. Well, I mean, that's one way of getting into the game real quick. It should be fine now. This PC does have some gremlins. It's very old, it's elderly. I mean, it's like almost 30 years old, so... Okay, wow, yeah, no, not good. This is not running great. I don't expect it to run much better in S3D mode, to be fair. But probably better than this. Oh boy. This is quite something. Yeah, this is pretty much unplayable like this. Okay, all right. Let's quickly switch over to S3D mode. I think we should be safe using the S3D mode, since the game told us that the problem. Oh no. Hold on. That's so weird. Why would you want to quit the game and then race again right away? That's, I don't know. Whatever. No, I don't want to. Hello? No. Hello? What? No! Jesus Christ, how many times do I have to press enter? It's so unresponsive. So yeah, like I said, we should be fine using the S3 card, because there could only be problems with high-end machines, and this is not a high-end machine, so I think we're okay. What I forgot to mention about Tomb Raider is that only the first game has S3 support via a patch. Not a lot of games had S3 support. I mean, it was only on around for like maybe a year or two, so yeah. This is from 1987, so this one still has it. But most games will not have it, so yeah, that's the thing. Close all other programs, and here we go, yeah. Possible graphics problems or sound problems with fast machines. It's fine. We have like 100 megahertz CPU. I think we're okay. I don't see how a faster machine would cause more problems, but I feel like that's kind of a more of a slow machine thing, but whatever. It's not like this game is speed sensitive, I would say, but I mean, to be fair, some of these old cards... Oh, the video was actually playing better than before. That's interesting. I wonder if there's some kind of acceleration going on here. Well, anyways, like, you know, a lot of the times, some of these older video cards were sort of tied to certain systems, like certain system speeds. Like, for instance, the Voodoo 1 is notorious for not working on faster machines. Thankfully, it works fine on my 275 megahertz Pentium MMX. Maybe if it was a bit faster, like 350, I think maybe at the limit is where it kind of starts not working quite right. I think graphics settings are probably on the lowest. Yeah, good. That's good. So it was always lowest settings, even in software renderer mode. All right, it's loading from the CD. That's kind of interesting. This must be doing like a very minimal installation and then loads a lot of stuff off the disk. Okay. It's marginally faster. More graphical effects as well. Wouldn't exactly call this a win. But it is certainly a bit faster. It's playing a little bit better. Would it be playable? I mean, if you're very dedicated, I think this could be played, but not necessarily optimal. Honestly, this CPU speed is probably exactly ideal for this video card. I would say this is the machine for which this video card was intended. Not like it was actually intended to play any 3D games at decent speeds, but yeah, it'd be a small little upgrade for sure. I mean, obviously, I don't have to state the obvious, but if you had a Voodoo card, it would be way faster, but, you know, that's just how it goes. I can't even try out the ATI Rage Pro Turbo in this machine because this doesn't have an AGP port, only PCI and ISA, so... But yeah, I would say this is definitely playing better than before, so that's nice. It's actually quite enjoyable. It's around like 10 to 15 FPS. Oh, it's a lot easier to close the game as well. That's nice. So a game I would have definitely played back in the day is Virtual Cop 2, but this one doesn't exactly run well on this machine. It's a little too slow. However, I mean, it just sort of makes the game easier because this is one of those games that renders all the pixels. It renders all the frames.
Let's go.
Instead of frame skipping. So it's essentially an easier way to play the game. But yeah, I've certainly played the game like this before, and I think I was probably able to finish it too because I mean it's pretty easy like this when it's so slow. This is actually running in 320 by 240. I think I would have played it in 640 by 480, but it would have run even worse. Right in a dick hole. I don't think I don't have the CD in, so no music. Normally this would probably have some kind of CD audio. But yeah, I've played this game a lot. I didn't know anything about the Sega Saturn at the time, and you know, like the fact that this was an arcade game, I just, you know, I thought it was kind of fun. But yeah. There you go.
Don't shoot.
I don't know why we're not supposed to shoot that, but whatever. One game I've definitely picked up an interest for much later is Theme Hospital. So I wonder how well this game is going to work. I mean, this game worked perfectly on the AMD. Sorry, not AMD. What am I saying? On the Intel MMX machine. This is actually kind of a DOS game, but it has a Windows installer, so that's kind of interesting. At least I do think it is. Well, it says it uses DirectX. Okay. Well, maybe it is a Windows game then. I've only ever actually played through this on PlayStation, and it's actually perfectly fine on PlayStation. Although, one thing is that it doesn't have any music. So what I did was just simply run the soundtrack, just play the soundtrack outside of the game while playing, and it was perfectly fine. It looks very charming on PlayStation. However, it is a slightly dumbed down version. There are not as many different doctors, for example, different characters. Like, there's more models, more types of NPCs you can look at. Or, well, NPCs, I don't know if you can even call them NPCs, because I mean, you're not playing them, but you're sort of controlling them. Or at least you can control them. Whenever, for the 30th time, they don't want to go do a surgery while, you have an emergency going and you're trying to look for your surgeons, and they're all having a break. Lovely. Alright, so game has been installed. Use the Windows 95 start menu and select Bullfrog Theme Hospital. Okay. So, let's see. I would assume this game should work fine. I don't think this has like very high system requirements, but we'll see. Yeah, that's CD drive. Thinking about it. Oh man. It's interesting to see this intro video at 30 FPS, because I believe the PlayStation video will only be 15. Or maybe this is 25, I'm not sure. It's definitely going to take a while to load. However, I did do the full install. It's, yeah. Oh, there's a video. I'm going to skip that. Let's get into gameplay, see what we have here. Okay. We'll start a new game. First game, I think that just means that they give you hints. Low res, no. Okay, let's try. So we're gonna be in 640 by 480. If it doesn't run well, I guess we'll just change things around a bit. That is not how I remember the music. I guess that's just how it sounds like on a Sound Blaster Vibra. There's sort of an optimal way to place things here. Usually you want to put the chair next to the door so they can move in and out quickly. Okay. Oh yeah, right. I should have actually started by hiring people. I'm not used to the PC user interface on this game. Honestly, the music doesn't sound too bad. It's different. The Vibra 16 doesn't have an OPL chip. It just kind of does whatever. But it sounds alright, I think. Alright, let's hire some people here, because... Okay, this guy has extra... Oh, okay. Right, he doesn't have anything. This guy has... He's a psychiatrist. Okay, let's get this guy here. Yeah, I'm certainly more used to the PlayStation user interface of this game. But yeah, on PlayStation you don't even get different pictures, I believe, for the different doctors. I mean, I think like one psychiatrist will be enough for now. I think we'll get like maybe 3 doctors. Then we're gonna need some nurses. She looks good. Yeah, like you can see how they're all different looking. At least, well, not all of them, but there's at least 2 different types of doctors. Whereas on PlayStation you only get this one, I believe. Let's get this guy. Why won't it? Oh, there we go. Okay, I think the doctor was in the way. This is... I'm just used to the way the OPL soundtrack would sound. But this game sounds very different, obviously, on different sound cards and different... like, if you can use wavetable music as well, and that will sound completely different as well.
Turn patients to the front of the queue.
I think we need something that's as small as that, 4x4. Maybe we can do, perhaps, a pharmacy. Lloyd's Pharmacy, right there. Well, let's make sure we have a staff room. You can put a lot of toys into this one, maybe later. For now, just a couch. I'll fancy it out later. We don't have any seating areas. I'll have to deal with that as well.
Doctor, attending psychiatry, please.
Okay, we need seating for sure. We'll put a drinks machine down as well. Oh yeah, on PlayStation you can only get 9 items at a time, so I'm kind of used to that limitation here. I forgot that here you can get more stuff at a time. I kind of wanted to put a drinks machine there, but I don't think it's going to fit. I'll put it right here. Okay. Now let's place some radiators here. Let's fancy up that... How do I do that actually? I think I need to like right click on this. How do I fancy up a certain room? I'm not quite sure how that works on PC. Ugh. Maybe I need to click on like some kind of an edit button or something. Edit rooms. That's it. Okay. I need to buy. Let's get a TV, a couple more sofas, a pool table. Pool table is very important. And while the patients are taking a shit, they can see the doctors having fun in the chill room here. Oh, that's speaking of which, we need to make some more toilets. This game is so much fun. More toilets, more sinks. Why am I starting with the sinks? Whatever. This is stupid. I hate how you... Okay, whatever. I'll just put them here. I can just click on toilet, I guess. Nope. Toilet, please. Thank you. Yeah, there we go. Oh, I don't need that many sinks. That's enough. Sure. They're gonna be pooping more than washing their hands. I mean, most people don't even wash their hands afterwards, right? So that's...
Nurse required in ward.
Alright. I need to decide on something? What is this? 73% chance. Let's go for it.
Nurse required in pharmacy.
Oh, we don't we have... Wait, we don't have a research facility on the first level? I guess not. Research just kind of happens later. This is the first level. It's kind of simple, with simple goals and stuff. Some more benches, maybe. Could definitely use some more radiators outside on the in the hallways. I could put a drinks machine right there, cover up the window with that, or maybe not. Put a radiator here. Oops. I'll put one here if I can. Nope. Yes. Right there too. Enjoy some radiators. They're always too cold. I don't know why they're always too cold. I can never figure out like how many radiators they want. Okay. That's a lot of radiators. Okay. And now we just sort of wait until, you know, it does its thing. Oh, they're waiting again. What is this? 60% chance? Go home. That's not quite safe enough. Not that 73% is so reassuring, but I'm amazed. This is running perfectly. I mean, I was sort of... I don't know what I was expecting, but... I mean, I suppose a 100 megahertz AMD K5 is perfectly adequate to run Theme Hospital. Of course, if your map gets a bit more complex, maybe it won't run so perfectly, but I mean, who knows? I would assume it might, actually. This is running great. Super playable. And honestly, I don't mind these tunes. They're pretty cool. These Vibra tunes. Sounds funky. You can also buy more buildings and stuff. Not on the first level, though, it looks like. I'm gonna raise the heating. Oh, okay. On PC, you actually get a map. Wait, who's that guy there? Is that the...
Watch out, we've got a VIP in the building.
Yeah, that's just a random doctor hanging around. Okay. I'll need some more plants, I think. Let's get some more plants. Kind of lacking in plants. Enjoy all the plants. I'll put one here too.
Nurse required in pharmacy. Doctor, attending.
And that's the first double done. Let's check out something. I'm not sure how this is going to work. This is a speed sensitive game, so I'm not sure how 100 megahertz AMD K5 is going to handle it, but I believe I already have it installed here, which is none other than Quarantine. So I guess I just launch this, maybe? All other wait, what? Oh, okay. So I guess this one just... Okay, closes everything. Oh, how much I hate these stupid copy protection things. Alright. 129 and 70 miles per hour. 921, I think. I swear, pirates, yet again, having an easier job playing the game than people who've purchased the game. That's just a given. Alright, let's see how this one goes. I'm not sure how the controls are in this game. I never really played this. Oh, okay. I guess this one doesn't actually work. It just fell apart right away. Yeah, I think I've tried this before, and I think I have ran into the same issue. I don't know what this is all about. This video is getting increasingly long, and there's millions of games I could check out, so let's just check out a couple more DOS games, and then I'm gonna call it. It's also incredibly cold out here in the workshop, so I'm freezing my ass off, but I can do a couple more games. Let's check out GTA. Now this one has a Windows version and a DOS version, but I would always play the DOS version because I just prefer the way it looks. The GTA 8 mode. Hopefully the sound card is all set up. I didn't check. We'll see. Okay. That's an absolute classic. I don't think you can change the resolution. I don't think you can change the resolution in this mode, right? Yeah, I don't think so. There's a way to turn off the frame limiter, and here's with it off. Honestly, it's still kind of playable because the PC is just about fast enough to run this. So it's like, it barely looks any faster with it off than when it's on, so... We're just on the limit of being able to play the DOS version, the 8-bit color mode. I always miss one. That's so sad whenever that happens. Hold on, my camera is kind of running low on power. I'm gonna have to hook up the charger. I always thought the name Mondano for this car is sort of a joke on the Mondeo? Mondano? Probably. Okay. I could use a car. I think this is on a timer. This payphone, yep. It's right here though. Yeah, as you can see, this game is perfectly playable. I have had no issues playing this game back in the day on this machine. And yeah, I would much rather play this, because not only did it run better, but I actually prefer the colors. If we tried the Windows version or, you know, just the high color mode version, it would not run nearly as well as this, I would assume, but this is perfectly adequate. I like I said, I prefer these graphics. Let me try to turn it off again. Turn off the frame emitter. It runs a little faster. So like this game runs too fast if you turn off the frame emitter because it renders out every frame and the game speed is tight to 30 FPS, so if you go above that it's just gonna go too fast. But this is still not too fast. I feel like this is actually like the only machine I have where this game is perfectly playable with the frame emitter off, which is kind of funny. Oh, almost run that guy over. Okay, it's a little fast right there if it zooms in, but yeah, when it's driving it's actually fine. I actually like this game much more than 2. 2 always felt kind of weird to me. It's so disconnected from reality with the retro-futuristic look I wasn't a huge fan of. Well, there you go, first mission done. Let's also check out Network Rally, which I've actually played a lot back in the day. Though I do prefer International Rally Championship IRC over this one, because that just simply has like more cars and stuff, you know. But this is a cool game too, though. It sort of uses the same engine, I would assume, because it looks exactly the same as IRC. IRC will also run fine on this machine, as well as this one. Looks like that wasn't full screen.
5,
Hold on.
4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Hold on, the controls are completely messed up on this one. And I have no idea how to even accelerate. Okay, what's that? I've accelerated with some key. Really? Okay. I've put it in. Okay, this is completely messed up. I have no idea how to control it, and I don't know why the screen is so small. Let's look at the setup here. Oh, Jesus, what the hell is this? Okay. Let's try to see the... I'm gonna go with that one, but why can I not like make the screen bigger? What's going on? Why is the image so small? Ah, there we go. Image quality. Vanishing point. I think... Well, actually, this looks like lower than that. What the heck? Okay, whatever. I'm gonna try this, see how it runs. Oh my god, what the hell? It's not remembering the settings at all. What's going on with this game? Did it not save the visual settings? Oh, I selected the wrong one. Right, okay, hold on. It's so all over the place, because that's definitely higher quality than that one, but then that's lower quality than that. So what? Okay, whatever. Okay, it should be fine now. Oh boy. Oh, okay. This one has more cars. I didn't realize that.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
So I guess when... Oh my god. So when there's like other cars on the screen, not so great.
Easy right. Easy right. Easy left.
But if you do just normal rally instead of arcade, then it should be fine. If you just, you know, select like a track and you're gonna be alone, then it's gonna run just fine. Yeah, having the other cars is a bit of an issue. But I mean, you know, if you want slightly better frame rate, you can just lower the settings a bit, because this is pretty much maxed out. Yeah, it's still kind of choppy.
4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Yeah, slightly choppy. This game has no 3D acceleration, so it's all software renderer. I would have to lower the details a little bit to get this to run at a better speed. Nope. I'm thinking just reducing the vanishing point might help. I suppose we could try that mode. Yeah, it runs a little bit better. I think the picture for the detail level is a little bit exaggerated because it's not looking that much worse than, you know, than they were saying in the little screen. But yeah, it's not fully smooth. It's not 30 FPS, but it's like smooth enough. It's perfectly playable. This is how I played it back in the day, and it's fine. Now I'm curious what that Vibra 16 is going to sound like, so I'm actually going to check out a couple more DOS games. Let's see. Let's try out Speed Haste. This is a game I've played extensively, and I don't think this ran well on this computer, but I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I was just running it in the wrong resolution again. We'll see. Setup, I think it's already set up, so let's just go. Because this sound card uses 225.1, so pretty standard configuration. We'll see if it works. I just remember this game not running well, but and then again, okay, maybe the audio isn't set up actually. Let's run the setup real quick. Oh, what's going on? Uh-oh, that's not good. It's not closing properly. Alright, let's run the setup here, because it looks like it's not actually set up properly. Oh yeah, it's set to IRQ 7. Never mind. Okay. I'm going to do Sound Blaster 16. Oh, okay. They recognized it. Good. Okay. I think I should turn it down a little bit. Let's see how it does. I'm going to try it in 320 by 200 and then and then 640 by 480. So I think by default it should be, yeah, it's set to 640 by 480. Let's try 320 by 200. Okay, I don't know what this is. Background depth. Is it just like the draw distance? Oh, that might be the draw distance, okay. We'll just leave it at 20.
Select circuit.
We'll do this circuit.
Select vehicle.
And I'll just pick this one. Let's go.
Start your engine.
I'm curious. Okay. It is a little bit slow.
Go.
It's definitely a little bit slow. Yeah. Actually, I feel like background depth may be like the picture, like how far away the buildings are. I don't know. It seems kind of a strange setting because it looks like we have sort of very high visibility, even though it's on 20. So I don't know. It's playable. Runs better than I remember again. So I'm thinking. Now I don't know. I don't think this is due to the difference between the S3 Trio and the S3 Virge, because for all intents and purposes, the S3 Virge is a very slow video card, and it will do about as well as the Trio in 2D, I would assume. I'm fairly certain this is all down to me choosing the wrong resolution when I was a kid. I might have been playing in 640 by 480, which is a bit too much for this. Let's try that. I have a weird version of the game for some reason. The other one I have just doesn't stick to the resolution. Like even though I change the resolution, it just changes back to 320 by 200. I don't know why. This one works though. This one does switch to 640 by 480. Ooh, yeah. This is more like it. I feel like that's kind of how I may have played it. But I don't know. I mean, honestly, this was so long ago. I don't remember the exact details. I just specifically remember this not running too well, and then I would do stuff like trying to clip out of bounds, which was my favorite thing to do in this game for some reason. Just trying to, you know, break through the barrier and then see what's beyond it. Try to get to those buildings in the distance, probably, maybe. I don't know. I just remember trying to do this at like a super low frame rate. And if I did it for long enough, I would just kind of clip through. And I'm assuming that might be because of the low frame rate, you know? Maybe I was secretly a genius and I knew that lower frame rate would help clip out of bounds more easily. Skipping some collision frames. I don't know how I did it anymore, but something like this probably. I mean, maybe I was playing in 320 by 200. I don't know. It's hard to say. I feel like this is definitely easier like this. But I know one specific track I really liked clipping out of bounds was okay, I might go back to let's go back to 320 by 200. I think one of my favorite tracks was maybe this one? Yeah, I think this one is it, potentially. I would try to clip out of bounds on this level a lot. See those houses, you know, and stuff like that. You can just kind of drive through it. They don't have collision, obviously, but you know, it's still interesting to check out. I feel like it would have had to have been done at a slow speed. I don't even know how I figured it out. I just kept running at the wall and then I just clipped through it. I can't even do it anymore, honestly. Maybe, yeah. I feel like we'd actually need the higher resolution for this, but probably. Maybe, oh, maybe here, because I was thinking like, oh, maybe I could, you know, squeeze through the gap. But no, it's all like a solid wall. I have no idea how I did it anymore. I would have to ask my 10-year-old self, I don't know, 5-year-old self, who knows? Yeah, no idea. But I would do this for a long time, and then eventually I would just clip out of bounds. It kind of looks like it puts you a bit further back, so like maybe you could, you know, mess around with that a little bit, like do it at certain angles, and then maybe it sort of like puts you outside of the barrier. That's probably how it works. It's kind of tricky. It also puts you to the side. But I was so happy whenever I could do this. And I definitely used the stock car, I remember that much. I don't think I did this much with the Formula 1 car. Isn't this just the most riveting gameplay you've ever seen? What a video. Tonight, I try out my childhood computer. And then drive into a wall for several minutes. Alright, I'm gonna try the higher resolution again. I don't care about your stupid race, I'm all about that clipping out of bounds stuff. Feels more volatile at a lower frame rate, so maybe this is it. One thing I haven't tried yet is what if I reverse? Alright, I'm gonna stop before I run out of storage on the memory card, so whatever. You won this time, old self. But one day I'll figure out how to do it again. Alright. Let's go check out another game that sort of uses similar music, which would be Jackrabbit. Like, it sounds like it's a very, it's like a, it uses samples. So yeah, let's see what jazz sounds like. Actually, first we're gonna have to run the setup here. This is Jazz Jackrabbit with Turbo Pascal fixed. This machine doesn't actually need it, but I hope it's gonna work fine. It should be okay, hopefully. Ooh, hold on, the monitor is a little bit miscalibrated here. Let me run that thing. Okay. All right. Okay, so we have a Sound Blaster 16. Yes, okay. We'll do, yeah, ultra high. Why not? I mean, Pentium, yeah, sure. Let's try, see if this works. Although this game prefers that you run it in DOS. I don't think I have that set up right now, so we're just gonna run it from Windows. Let's see what it does. It sounds good. Sounds much better than some other sound cards I've tried before, so. But then again, this is not OPL music. This is like sample based, I believe. So this kind of sounds good on most cards. The machine is set to probably December. I didn't check the date on it. I have a save here. What is this? Orbitus. Let's start a new game. Huh? Sometimes the audio cuts out a tiny bit though, which is a bit weird, but yeah, I think the game should run just fine. Yep. Looks great, runs fine. I don't see any like stutters. Maybe a slight bit. Not too bad. It's pretty solid. It's perfectly playable. I would have definitely played this game back in the day on my machine. So it's not the first time this machine is running this game. But it's been a while. Oh yeah, that's the thing about Windows. You don't want to play in Windows because you can press like a button combination that will sort of gets you into, like, I believe it's Alt plus space, kind of. I think that might be the alternate. Yeah, I like to set up the key commands, like the keyboard layout, a bit differently, so that this doesn't happen. But yeah, whatever. I'm sure it would even run better on, you know, in pure DOS. But like I said, I don't have it set up right now, so I would need probably some kind of DOS drivers for the card as well, because it's not a. This is a. I believe it's a plug-and-play card, so not something you just, you know, set up on the card with jumpers and then that's it. I think that it's a bit more involved than that. Yeah, I mean, it's perfectly playable. And it sounds good too. No video can be complete without some Doom. Yep. Okay, FX, yep, same stuff. Alright, should be good. Should I set up the controls? I mean, I don't know. Keyboard and mouse. Keyboard. Yeah. Wait, strafe? Oh no, hold on. That should be, yeah, that, okay. Okay. And then, yep, everything else is fine. Let's see if how it sounds like. I'm curious. Sounds pretty decent, I would say. Oh, okay. I'll turn down the sound effects a little bit. Sound effects are a tiny bit loud. Oh, hold on. What's going on? Oh, there's so much noise. That's probably just like all the sound effects all at once. Let's just see what happens here. Yeah, that sounds fairly normal. Sounds a lot like, oh my god, the sensitivity on this mouse is non-existent. Okay. Sounds kind of like, It sounds a tiny bit harsher than, I would say, an ESS sound card. In fact, this sounds very similar to what a Sound Blaster Live would sound like. That's interesting. That kind of like twanginess to the sound is there. And a lot of like high pitch frequencies. But honestly, it's perfectly serviceable. I don't mind it at all. Whoa. Okay. I've decided to try Aladdin. Kind of sounds like a diesel engine on the old Vibra 16. But at least it works. This game is actually notoriously tricky to get working because if you have too much memory, it won't launch. But this machine only has 32, so it works fine. I don't know what the limit is, but I would say maybe like 64 megs or 30 or like 128. I don't know. But it won't even launch. It will just tell you like there's not enough memory. What is this noise? What the hell? Hello? Oh my god. But I did run the setup program as well, so what happened there? I mean, it's kind of primitive. I don't know. Maybe I... Sound Blaster and AWE32. But... I mean, there's no like Sound Blaster 16. I thought that would just mean Sound Blaster 1. But... no. Oh boy. I could try... we could try Sound Blaster Pro. Maybe. Maybe I don't want to play enhanced music. Oops. Okay. Yes. Let's see if that does any better. Probably not. Maybe we have to try non-enhanced music. Oh god. It's just a different pitch now. Okay, I'm just gonna try not to play enhanced music. I don't know what the heck is going on with this. Never experienced that before, but then again, I've never tried this on a Vibra, so I don't know. Okay, it went back to 2 though, which is weird. Okay, whatever, I guess it wants 2. Don't play enhanced music, no. Yeah, let's just do that. Yep. Let's try it now. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Yep. Nope. Still nothing. It's, yeah, that's it. I mean, I could try the Windows thing, I guess. Windows sound system are compatible. Maybe. Probably not gonna work. Probably gonna sound horrific. Or, yeah, nothing. Thought so. Okay, well, I guess that's Aladdin. I couldn't get the audio working, so... I was curious to see what this sounds like, but... oh well. Anyways, I think I've messed around with this for long enough and rambled on for long enough, so... I think I'm going to call it. This was a super fun experiment. Checking out something from my childhood. I mean, yeah, this is my first machine, as I remember it, so... yeah, thank you so much for coming with me on this journey, and yeah, that's gonna be it for now. And yeah, it's now safe to turn off your computer. We'll do that once I kick my camera stand. There we go. So yeah, thanks for watching, and drop by my Twitch stream if you'd like. Bye.